Hello and welcome. Time for a longer video for today, which is Tuesday, Crypto Day. Every day is Crypto Day until it is not, and I don't think the day where it doesn't become such is any time in the near future. I finished off the 4-minute morning talking about Florin, FLO, and I want to talk more about such. So everything you do, like always, within your own risk and own reward. I've been talking about the strategy, buying low, which is generally speaking when it hits key down levels below the 18 average. That's generally when you want to buy. So if you buy in here at 1400 and you're basically barely up now, there was really no sell opportunities because this price action on the 28th of January did not even get to the 18 average of highs. And then you have a significant leg lower. So sometime along this measure is a buying opportunity. If you bought very low at, say, 1,000, you had the opportunity for an okay 30% gain. But the amount that you're looking for in profit trade is designed for how you want to trade. You can play these things trying to get 6% flips here and there, whatever suits your boat, basically. For me, I'm looking to get decent sized gains. I realize if I'm buying down at these levels, then I want to sell when it gets high above the 18 average. Now, when you look at all of these peaks, this is like, well, 5 noticeable ones since this thing started to roll over. This 18 average as it plays out, it's a nice looking setup. And what I did, the last time I sold was up on March the 8th. I sold a little bit of Florin right below the 1800 level. I bought it immediately back because it fell pretty much immediately to this point. Then I put my sell order in just a little bit above where this high happened to be, and it pulled back. And that's a very common thing that's going to happen. Sometimes you're going to nail the sale like I did a few days ago, and sometimes you're going to miss it like yesterday. Okay. Now, do I want to sell back in that area again? You know, the more often you test support or resistance, the more likely you take it out. Not only that, but if you do have successful, in this case, bullish resistance, that means you're making higher lows. Yeah, maybe it might come back down, but are you happy to buy back at, like, say, 1540 if you sell at 1750? And I say no. So I don't want to sell there anymore. So I'm looking to sell at this level of previous support, roughly around the 1950, above that number just a little bit. I'm only selling about 2/9 of what I own. And I want to, and each time I'll sell a little bit less. So if I'm going to sell 100 the first time, then I'll sell maybe 90, then I'll sell 80, 70, and so on and so forth. Or I'll sell 200, then 220, or 230, 210. Just a little bit less in that sense, where the value I would get each sale would be worth more, however. So I would look to sell here. And then after that, I look deeper amongst this chart. I see this level of resistance at 26, matching a couple times here, even up to 27. And then this level of resistance twice hit it at 29 in 2 days. And then again, and I got 29.50 as an exact high, 29.59, and 20. So I would probably put my next sell order in at around 29.40 something. I like to do barely under the key number. The key number is 29.50. Mathematically, I need the sell orders to be in a decent amount of percentage gain each time. So if I'm selling around 2,000, then I'm selling next again at around 3,000. I am getting about a 50% gain from where the next sell target at 1950 would be. And of course, I'm always looking for 30, 40, 50, 60% declines to do so. And then when I even sell it, it's going to be a trade against Litecoin. When the sell order hits, and I notice it, of course, or when I just happen to do a manual sale myself, I'll copy the amount of Bitcoins that is displayed to me that I receive in such a transaction. And then I'll use that number to buy however the amount of Litecoins that I get. So if, say, price action were to come up to this area at 1950, I would buy the amount of Litecoin for it, write down what the ratio is based on how many of these I sold and how many Litecoins I gained, and look to buy it back at a decent price. So if it goes up here at 2,000, then it falls to like 13 or 14, yeah, I'm buying it back most likely, but it would have to be at least a move to around that. And of course, the Litecoin price is doing what it's doing will adjust the changes a little bit as well. But generally speaking, I'll always have the buy orders and sell orders in Bitcoin at the key points. So the next sell would be there, of course, and then let's just assume it goes all the way straight up. I get my sale, it doesn't go back or back much. And then it goes up here. Okay, depending on how the market moves up to 3,000 will depend on where I would want to buy back as well. But the key thing is, do I really want to buy it back at less than or more than 2,000 if I sell at 3? Because it's a 33% decline to go from 3 to 2, and that's really the start of a number I'm looking for the buyback, so I can get a decent amount of extra tokens, in this case flows, and then profit on the Litecoin trade as well. So breaking 3,000, where would I want to sell? And I like to use many periods on this for this example so I can see all of these nice pierces above. I want a decent percentage gain above 3, and I want it to be at a key level. So I'm looking at 4,000. That's only a 33% move on 3. If I move it above here, I'm looking at this high as well. Probably want to go around 4,500, which would be another 50% gain. And then with this high at around 64, you'd be looking at another 50% gain to get there. So that would take 1, 2, 3, 4 sell orders to get back to its all-time high. I want to ensure, and I do based on my mathematics of how I sell, that I can do 6 orders in a row. So if it just keeps going up and keeps going up, I get sell order, sell order. I'm like, man, I could have not sold, held on and got a better deal. So be it. And then I want to make sure I can get the decent gains. And again, if you set it up so that, let's just assume you got 1,000 of whatever token, maybe you start off by selling 220. Actually, I'll use a calculator for this. That'd be easier. I got to find my keyboard. Where would that be? Here it is. So let's assume you started off with 1,000. So 220 you would sell first. Then you would sell maybe 200, and then I'd sell about 800. Or 180 rather. So there's 400 I would have remaining. So now my average sale at this stage for 3 is 200. I can sell 7 in a row. And therefore, if this thing happens to go majorly parabolic, then I would be fine to be able to ensure awesome sells. Now, when something goes up 100 times, it's just normal that you would run out before it gets to that. Of course, if you know something's got that potential to go there, always in line yourself to be able to sell there. Of course, if I know something's got a good chance of that kind of gain, I would have a larger position. For me, Florin is like any other altcoin that I have. I invest just a small amount, under 0.02 Bitcoin on it to start. And I will try to get whatever gains on it throughout the year, maybe make a decent amount, because as I've shown with many examples of buy low, sell high, if you can be able to pick away at these buys and sells, especially with 40, 50, 60, 80, 100+% gains and 30 to 50 and greater percent declines, and you can get a lot of free tokens that way. Or, well, yeah, I guess you call it free. They're profitable, they're earned, however you want to look at it. But I've talked enough about this coin now. I obviously talked about it not enough in the 4-minute morning, and maybe too much in this one. But this is designed to be a longer video, just as the morning one is designed to be 4 minutes. All right, I probably should talk about core later on as well. It's down 10% right now over the day, but I want to talk about NEM. I mean, do I just sell here? I'm saying to myself, this is a tough decision for me. It really, really is. And I haven't sold it yet. I talk about buying below the 18. I bought... Well, I would have bought around here at 53. I can't remember. It might have been a bit below. It probably would have been closer to 5. The thing is I would have bought this on February the 18th. And Bittrex removes them after 4 weeks too, which, well, it should still be up. Hey, maybe I did buy in February. I can't remember. I have to download the data. That sucks because Bittrex deletes any orders before 28 days. They never used to do it. It's a nuisance, whatever. But I know I did buy at this Fibonacci line at 3,000. And I talk about oftentimes I'll play pierce above or pierce below a key level, but play the psychological numbers. And this was a weird case when Fibonacci was below, barely where you'd want to buy, because if you want to buy around 2,900, okay, 3,001, 3,005. This low was 2860. So it technically still pierced below this 2946 level, only by 86 basis points, or a little over that of 2%. But now I'm in a situation where price yesterday got above the 18 average, and it had a nice few days of hugging and consolidating with the 18 highs, but the follow-through day today is magnificent. So just blindly looking at her, being the robot, although the robot might say to sell here too, do I sell now? I look at this as I can sell at around 54. I can then sell at around 8,000. The difference from 54 to 8,000 is 26. That's not bad. 26 on 54, that works out to about under 50%. So that'd be 2 sales. Then you'd be looking to sell maybe, at least when I say you, I'm not talking about myself. And if you happen to want to do something I'm doing, then that's what it would be. I make no I'm not suggesting you to do anything. This is what I'm doing. So if I sell again at around 11.1 change from 77, that's a decent enough one. That's 3. But we have this monstrous level here at 13.6. And I don't want to sell at 11 and then at 13.6. So I'm going to work my sales down. I'll sell around 13,488-ish. Below that, how am I going to do this? 13.8. Maybe around, oh, I hate to go a high pierce above fib. Maybe 8,300. Then here. If I settle for 30% gains, 14,000, then go, say around here, that's 2. This line is 3, this line is 4. Yeah. So we'll go around here, here, maybe around 10, 11, and just suck up an okay sale for the third one. And then here for 4. And then if it gets above that, I'll just have to calculate mathematics for where you go on the upside. I already know, breaking a major level, the no-no is selling any small level barely above resistance, unless you're a very short-term trader. That's a no-no, which means at 14,000, okay, selling there is great. 16,200, no way, no how. I mean, 18,000 is going to be difficult. Probably wouldn't want to sell again until close to 20. And then maybe 30 after that. It can have some monstrous gains. But when you break a key level of resistance, it's just like back in here. Well, if you're selling at, say, 85, you can see it breaks at key level. Well, even here, you have this resistance at 5,000. So back in December, you didn't want to sell it around 5,600. And you can see why. It breaks it good. Okay, let's look at Bitbean. I had no plan of looking at it. I just see it's up 7.63%. I own it. Not much. Yeah, it's like whatever. It's had a move to the support level for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Today it's made a statement that it wants to start an uptrend from where we're at. And it's already established within the day a key level, so you have to shorten it out to see something better. And I will, but in time, not much. And where do you want to sell? Well, I don't want to sell until probably 163 area. I bought there, but I also bought again at 117. Ish. I can't remember the number. I could search it. It's obviously still in history. And I can get all the history I want. I just have to... Well, I've already downloaded it, but I can look it up on a spreadsheet. So if I really need it, I'll go there. 1 hour time frame. Let's take a look at this. Okay. I think the 1 hour is too short for now. Lots of hits within this, chopping up and above below it. It established a big level of resistance at about 125 up to 126. It's at 127 now. So it's coming back to where it came from. It had a move that I like to use the 3 little bears reference. I want it to not be too much, not to be too small, but just be right. And it might be a little small, but what I want has to pass the eye test. Okay, it's noticeably above here. Okay, and it has to be noticeably so it can actually have a price correction back to where it came from, which is what it's had. Let's now look at this on, say, a 15-minute chart. So short term, we can see this major level of support at 127, which happens to be 1 basis point above this high at 126. Did it actually bottom there? No. Yeah, 126 was a low. So it came back exactly to where it came from. You have this attempt rally here. It hasn't failed yet. And even if it ends up failing in here, because we can see how we have this red candle down move at 9 a.m. on crypto day. And then it comes up to this 18 lows right now. If you see the market heading back, showing the movements below, I'm still looking to find support back at around 120. So just because it breaks down on the move doesn't mean it's a bad thing. For that's just one layer of correction that it's had on any type of A, B, C, D, E, F type of movements. Or Elliott wave theory, rather, I guess, and anything similar to such. Because I look for key areas of resistance to become support on a bull market. And I do see here that between 117 Fibonacci and 121, even up to 123, probably 122 is better, but whatever, that this little band here could very easily be that of support. Okay, I will quickly look at core, and then I'm going to talk about the just base alternate strategy and what I want for the market to work, and what will basically the only thing that would hurt my strategy. Okay, so core, do I buy back? What happened was I sold at around up here, and then I sold again up here. I've already bought back once. I bought back around the 42 or so handle, right back around the 18 average of highs. I did not get this sell, but wasn't much of a move. I think I'd want to buy back at a 61.8% correction, a pierce below of such from this low to this high. So I'm going to calculate that and put that line in. And actually, that is a 61.8% down move. So therefore, I probably will go roughly around 30 to previous low. You know, so I'm going to go 30. Because the way I look at it is it's coming back to one key area. If it happens to go and match a support of 28 and I get 30, that's fine. And if it breaks below, Well, I'll be looking to buy more whenever it has a significant leg lower. And I'm just going to try to find something in a downtrend that shouldn't be too difficult to find. Here's G-Byte. So it goes down to mathematics. Say you buy here, or anywhere in here, wherever you bought. Did you get sells at the 18 of highs? Maybe, maybe not. If you spot way down here at 34 and the price goes up to 46, the best you're getting is a 33% gain. However, if you could manage to hit some of these 18 average of highs and lows along the way and get some decent trades, okay profits. But if you were buying at, say, 34 and you see it price at 27, then it just mathematically has to work that I'm going to have to buy here, I'm going to have to buy some more down here, and then just keep on going over and over again until it's pretty much, it's finished in a sense. So just like I want a time to have like 6 or 7 sell orders in a row, I want to be sure that I can handle 6 or 7 buy orders in a row without it really hurting how much I put into it. Now, mathematically speaking, each time you buy, you can put in much less into Bitcoin. And anytime I put an entry position in, so if I start here and I buy, say, 100 of something to start, well, I know I'm going to sell about 22. I realize if I buy lower, its sell order is going to be higher than that. So I'd probably sell at about 26. And I'd want to buy more than I had, but more than that number would be. So 30 to 35 I'd want to buy, which is obviously one third the amount you originally get in at a cheaper price. And then if I'm going to buy 35 here, I'm probably going to be looking to buy about 50 to 55 here. And it would be cheaper to buy 50 than it would be here. So I want to buy more on each leg lower, and I want it to cost less here than here. The only reason I'd want to spend more here than maybe another level is if I'm very confident at a downside level to be a good key area that I can put an extra size bet, quote unquote, on it. And then, of course, play it from there how I would continue further. Let's take a look at this more long term and show the example of what I am looking for in these markets. And this is its 3-day time frame. It's only been going on since a little under 1 year. And you want to be able to sell up here and then buy back. But look what happened with amongst these possible buybacks. Okay, so you buy. So let's just assume you got in from the start. You sell here, maybe you sell here, you buy back here, you buy back here, you buy back here, maybe you buy back here, and then you bought some more here. That's 5 buy orders in a row. This top means you know you definitely got these 2 buys taken care of. You already know from, well, this buy might have been sold here, so you haven't got that buy back yet. Maybe this one was sold up here from this buy. Well, you can buy that back now, or if you, unless you already have. But as long as it can keep chopping up and down, that's really all I desire. Because I realize if this thing is long-term going to be down, or even go to nothing for that matter, that I can ensure that I can guarantee a winning trade long-term, like nominally, if I protect myself. Which means, say I start with 0.02 Bitcoin, I play the highs, I play the lows, a year goes by, however amount of time, and I can just pull out the 0.02 or 0.03 at some point after some nice successful buys and sells. And then you kind of already got your original investment out or small profit, whatever. After all, I want to buy back getting more than I sold and whatever. Say if I sold 100 here, and of course that'd be a lot, but if I sold, say, whatever amount here, and for every unit I sell here, I'm going to want to buy back maybe, well, if I sell at, say, 70 and buy back at 35, I want to buy back 1.5 or 1.6 maybe. Okay, let me just adjust this a little bit. This would take us to, well, the end of this year, so that works out fine. As long as the market just doesn't keep going like forever doing this, that destroys it. I mean, you keep on buying, what you buy keeps on being worth less, and that hurts your portfolio. But you know you're going to have these kinds of moves. Okay, so be it. And let's assume something that you kind of want to see, or that you're kind of expecting to see based on how a lot of these markets go. Okay, so it has a down move like this. But then you want to see these up moves come in. Maybe do something like this. And of course, I've got this set up to go down really fast in here. And we've seen the major moves up. But you want to make it so that everything I can buy here, I can sell a bunch here, buy back here, sell in here, buy back. And this looks interesting, we'll say, but let's move on to one final code for a conclusion. And I'll put silver on. It's not a crypto, it should be. Because I should be able to, and even gold rather, where I should be able to have something like the dollar tether or the true US dollar that's come out, where I can put cryptos into such, and it's going to move accurately, relatively accurately, within the price of gold and silver, whichever one is chosen. But I can actually, and I have been, buying physical silver with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. When you go to any type of merchant, look at the bottom of the page. What do they accept? Visa, MasterCard, PayPal. Do you see any Bitcoin, Litecoin on there? A lot of them have it. JM Bullion in the States, I believe, accepts Bitcoin. Silvergoldbull.ca in Canada accepts Bitcoin, Litecoin, and a few other cryptocurrencies as well. That's very easy to do. And so the profits that I talk about with buying low, selling high, markets going higher, but generally the portfolio of cryptos rising means I can be able to, within the game of cryptos, have them physically delivered to my door. It's such an awesome feature, because I believe long-term silver is a very good asset class, but I do realize that I know what it is, I know its value, and I realize, even though it has never been money in my time, and it probably never ever will be again, as far as what you actually use as a main currency, at least for some major region. But it's always going to be sold for whatever money is used at the time. And if there's ever a problem where no one can figure out what monies can be, well, silver probably could be such. But the way I look at it is, if it ever gets to the stage where silver would be used as money, I think gold is just going to be like, yeah, I'm the big boy, we'll take over, I'm money, I'm being gold. Although you can sell me for, of course, there's a gold to silver ratio. And again, silver you can always sell many different ways. You go to a coin shop, you put advertisements out into a online place like Craigslist, Kijiji, what have you. Maybe you even go and set up yourself on a weekend or a day to a coin show and be a vendor. And then try to sell what you can. If, of course, you're trying to sell a lot, that's what you might do. Because you have to pay a decent amount to have your fee just to be in the building for the weekend at a particular coin show. All right then. Thank you for tuning in to the video, and have yourself a magnificent crypto day. Bye-bye.